Well, I hope everyone can hear me. I've already recorded this once, and I didn't switch on the mic. So here we go. Right, all controls, all done in one video. I'm going to try and do it as short as possible. So we're going to start off with showing you the controls. Since everybody wants the controls straight away, we'll show them first. Where are we? Right, gameplay. Controller free look in aircraft has to be switched on. This will be set to no when you start the game. Set it to yes. Leave FN as it is. Here are my settings for aiming. 110 for a little bit more quicker turning left and right while hip firing. Aiming down a sight's sensitivity multiplier, I've more than halved it. It was 100%. It's too quick to aim, especially when you're sniping. It's just loose and all over the place. And this here is, I call this the tightness and looseness. A bit like diff on, diff off in Wreckfest. If you want it loose, you just go left. When you aim, it's very loose and very hard for me to actually get it on his head. And if I go back and put it to the 100% that it was already set at as standard. And by the way, all these orange bars are naturally set to 100% all the way down. Only this 100% is the full bar, where the 100% on these two bars are only halfway, strangely. So you'll be able to see from the standard that you've got the default to what I've changed it to. 10% more on that, and 55% off on this one. And I've left this one as it is because, well, we need tight aiming. Now I can put it on him, almost put it on him, just by touching it. Couple of naughty politicians there, I see. Right, and we'll show you the sniper as well on here. With the same settings, obviously. Don't forget we're standing up, so we're going to have lots of wobble. Okay, and zoom in and out function, up and down on the D-pad. As you can see on the left there, I've stood here on purpose so you can actually see it lit up on the green grass, because if I stand over here, things are a little bit more difficult to see when you see the white writing. So that's why I've been standing over here like this. Now, always attach yourself to something if you can, by keeping hold of the X button. Aim down the sight, and then you'll have pinpoint aiming whenever you want. And don't forget, keep hold of X up and down to adjust the bullet drop for range. All the way up, 900, all the way down, it's 300. On this sniper, some guns are set differently. Adjust accordingly. If you take a shot and you miss, go and see what your settings are. You may need to drop it down, especially if you've got one of the AKs that goes to 440. Just drop that down to 100 when you're on close range. Run! 300 is right for him. 300 is right for him. And as you can see, the aiming, you can move pretty quick when you zoomed right in, but when you touch it, it's nice. That's why I halved the aiming sensitivity multiplier, otherwise it would have been a bit more swingier to the left and right. Some people can do it, but me, I needed to halve it, so everyone's different. Now the rest of the settings, and now all the binds that I've made are made because they work with everything else. I wanted the full DayZ settings, but I couldn't have it. I couldn't have the R1 that is normally look in this game as the radial is it is in DayZ, because if it did, it would show up when turning right on the helicopter. If the devs separate that, then I can redo that button again. But for now, here are your buttons. I'll just go down the gameplay again. Don't forget your motion sensor control. Some of it will be switched on. If you don't want motion sensor control, turn it off here. Make sure they all say no. I will say that the aiming while down sights is a little bit handy if you've got this lot here set up correctly. I have, so if I ever switch this on, I can just wiggle my pad left and right, and my scope will move left and right. It will not go up and down because I have turned off the up and down on the vertical horizontal ratio. As you can see, vertical is 0, so it will not go up and down when moving the pad. It will only move left and right because of the 1. And that's how that works. And if you want to turn off the trigger intensity buttons, I've got a previous video on that which explains how you turn off the trigger intensity, which is through your main menu on your PlayStation through accessories. That's how you turn off the triggers. It does not turn off the rumble effect. You have to do that. That's on a different button. So if you want to keep the rumble, that's fine. I keep the rumble because it helps you feel explosions in the distance that are going off. But as for adaptive triggers, you can turn them off through the PlayStation bar, which if I brought it up now, it wouldn't record it. It would only do it if I was live streaming. I can't do it on a recording. PlayStation don't allow you to record your home screen PlayStation bar for some reason. So I do explain how to do that in a previous video. Once again, I will go down the controls. These are entirely up to yourself. First person field of view, pretty straightforward. It's what you're looking at now. Third person is when you keep hold of the options button, or start button as we used to call it. It will give you the outside view. That is the field of view there. Vehicle field of view, I've got it on 90% so I can see my legs, my hands, my feet, the steering wheel, the dials, and a bit more to the left and right without having to look left and right. That's why I've got it set all the way up to the top. If you have it set this way, it'll be like you're eating the steering wheel like a brand new driver. We don't want that. No eating the wheel today. Right, on to the next. It's controls. Anything I've unbinded and is blank, I've done it for a reason, either because it's useless or because it interrupts something else, and we can obviously inspect something and do different buttons that way. So some things are taken off because you can inspect it through the device itself held in your hand. Here we go. Yeah, if you're not using a motion sensor, you don't need that one lit up. So blank, you don't need to show them, you can get them from the options. These two here, you can get them from the options menu, so I blank them anyway. Perform action, square as usual. Up and down, previous action, next action, that's when you're looking at something like a car. Here is your aiming buttons. Toggle focus, I've changed it all to be like Daisy. So it's not on the R1, it's on the L1. And don't worry, this does not interfere unless you double tap it with the helicopter. When you press L1 on the helicopter, it will go left. When you press R1 on the helicopter, it will go right. The free look will not be interrupted. Shall we say, you use your right stick to free look in a helicopter because of the setting I showed you previously. So follow these settings exactly and your helicopter and your cars and everything will all work perfectly. Toggle focus, L1 times 2. Toggle focus while in vehicle, R3. Toggle focus while unarmed. So this is very handy as well because you can actually, while you're in a helicopter, double tap your L1 button and zoom in around. But you can also just tap in the right stick button and you will look around anyway, zoomed in. Toggle focus while unarmed. It's the same as what it was. That's probably the same as what it was. You can get rid of the adjust focus as well because you've got your focus on your L1 now like Daisy. It's in between aiming and not aiming. I'll show you how that works now. Okay, so you got your normal gun, your M16 or what's the other one? The AK. Both the same. When you tap L2, it'll do this. When you keep hold of it, it will zoom in. If you want to go straight to looking down the scope and zoomed in, so I'll show you now. So I half press it, it'll do that. This is the left trigger, your brake button. When I half press it, it does this. See how you can adjust it? And then when you fully press it, you'll aim. Let's go back down to that button. I'll turn it off for demonstration purposes. Toggle focus, adjust focus. Yeah, adjust focus. So we'll get rid of this one. And now when I half press my trigger, nothing happens, but when I press it fully, it goes straight to aiming. Some people want to go straight to aiming. That's how you do it. See, it just goes straight in, there's no focus. If you want to focus, double tap your left trigger, like you would do in Daisy, and you can look around as well while keeping hold of the left button. Left trigger's to right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, while aiming. Double tap your PlayStation, your L1 button to disengage the free look. But yeah, you can do this. This is the L1 button. It does the same thing as the L2 button when you're using that focus button I was on about. The one that goes in between the aim and here. I know. It gets some used to, doesn't it? But you can turn these things off and not use them, have a bit more Daisy-ish, make it a bit more simple for people to transfer from that game to this one, like myself. Let's go back. But I don't mind that, so I'll keep that on. Stay on common, let's not get confused, eh? If you tap triangle at any time, it resets that button to the default button, which is the one I was using anyway. So anyway, here we go, carry on copying these controls here. That's your options start button, obviously, you know that. That's the one you keep hold of to change view. I haven't changed that, don't worry. Some people didn't know where it is, so I just thought I'd point that out. And you press it once, it ends up bringing the options screen, doesn't it? So no one thinks to keep an hold of it. Okay, so your radio selection is now changed from the L1 button, which is now our Daisy free look button, to left on the D-pad. Here is your voice, just like Daisy. Toggle voice, hello, speak to people around you, keep hold of it, to speak on your radio, like you've got your radio tuned to, whatever megahertz that is, 38.5. That is a solid channel, nobody else can hear you speaking on that unless they're on that channel. But if you use the toggle voice, people can hear you, obviously the enemy can hear you too, because you're just free speaking around like you would do in the world when you went outside. Don't know why I said that bit, like people speak to themselves. Never mind. On to the next bit. I hope you've covered this now, but at the bottom of the page here, I'm going to scroll up and scroll down just so you can see them without me talking. Okay, on to the next. Equipment. You have to copy this exactly or it will not work. Open inventory. Those two signs there mean you have to press in that big massive button. It doesn't mean you press two buttons, it means the swipe button, which is your touch screen when you just touch it. And plus the one with the dits in means you've got to press it in, so it means touch it and press it in, like you would do on Daisy to get your inventory out. When you're checking for vicinity, things in vicinity in Daisy, remember that. You used to press that button in, just press it in. That's what those two signs mean. I'll scroll down to the bottom and show you the map. The map is a swipe, like a touchscreen phone. You just touch it. You don't press it in like you do your inventory. You just touch it, your map comes up. If you press it, your inventory comes up. So make sure when you set this button here, you just literally just swipe, and when you swipe, it'll put that in as its button. That's how you get around it. Let me go back to the top, because there's quite a few unbinds here you've got to do. You don't need the quick slots. You've got it here. This is the one I would love to have as the R1 button like Daisy, but we can't. We can't have it because if we do, when you press it in a helicopter to turn right, it will show up and ask you if you want to swap to something like morphine. I probably need some of that right now. So we've had to leave it like this for now, until the devs change it so it doesn't show up. Right. Unequip, drop. If you press those buttons, you will unequip what you got in your hand and leave it in your inventory. This one, you will drop the item that you have in your hands, mainly a gun. Yeah, so if you want to do a gun up for somebody like a friend who doesn't know how to do anything, you can go do him a gun up and drop it for him. Inspect. I've changed the inspect button from triangle to square, because triangle is the original load your gun button and swap your weapon button. Mainly reloading. That's the reason why I changed it. Also, it's easier to press the wrong button and inspect than it is to swap to your gun, if you know what I mean. Right, let's carry on. Rotate inspected item. I changed that just to be the square too. This will only work when you have the item in your hand like a gun and you want to look at it. You want to swap it over to tap square, swap it over. Take your magazine out, strip the gun of bits. If you find a gun on the floor somewhere and you want the magazine, just take the magazine out. Drop the gun. Keep hold of right on the D-pad, tap square, and it should drop to the floor. Now, how would you unequip a gun, you say? That's easy. You keep hold the right on the D-pad. To ignore that, I press another button at the same time. Right on the D-pad again, it'll bring up this inventory like it does, but you just tap triangle and it puts the gun away, and now you got your hands free. Okay, do that again, right on D-pad, triangle, that's what it is. Put your gun out, tap triangle. If you want to reload it, keep hold the triangle. Want to put it away, keep hold the right on D-pad, tap triangle. There you go. That's why I swapped the old square and triangle business. Go back to equipment. Okay, everyone copy these settings and make sure that anything that's blank, you'll have to blank it. Unless you get to this bit here. You don't have to blank these here. See, these used to have things on it. I'm not interested in pressing them buttons to get the slots up. I can just use this button. So I don't need the quick buttons when I've got a radio button. Some people might, some people don't. You can leave them there if you want. I took them off. Not needed. All me. Down to equipment. Down we go. We've done this bit here. This here is your pistol. You have to leave a double tap triangle for your pistol. If you blank that, you won't be able to get your pistol out unless you equip it on your radial wheel. Watch, I double tap, pistol comes out. Okay, obviously to put things away again, you can just keep hold of right in your D-pad, tap triangle, gun goes away, hands are free. Let's finish off these equipment controls. All blanked. You don't have to do blank all these, like I said, but I did because I don't need them. Use item, put away. No, I might change that use item to maybe square, I'm not too sure. But for now, we'll leave it there. I got rid of flashlight, up and D-pad, it's not needed. You can always put it to your radio wheel if you want to get it out. But just to put your lights on quickly, it's just double tap up. Okay, and that's the bottom of the page. So I'm just going to scroll up now and you can take a look at those. At the end of the video, I'll just go through them all dead quickly without saying anything and just scroll up and down so you can just look at all of them in one go. Okay, on to the next is character. This one's important. Most of this is the same here, yeah, that's all the same. I got rid of sprint because not needed. You got toggle sprint where you just click it on and you go and you click it off, you don't run. That easy. All the stances, all you need is jump to stand back up, or to jump means climb over a fence. I don't know why we're jumping in this game, but jump means climb over a fence. You can do a little hop if you want to, and it also stands you up from lying down. As you can see here, crouch or stand, circle, prone, keep hold. There's lots of buttons here. I've switched them all off and just kept the basic controls that we need, because there is other buttons like adjust stance up, adjust stance down. And what that does is this. If I keep hold of X, I can do this. I don't like it. I just like to press the other buttons. The original ones from DayZ. So make sure you copy these settings exactly and get rid of all this crap. Crap for me anyway. Maybe not crap for some. I would just say people are different, aren't they? If we're all saying be a bit boring, right? Toggle sprints, jump, crouch or stand, prone. As you can see, all this leaning stuff I've got rid of, and I've swapped it for L1 and R1, because that's just the way to go. Don't forget, it's while aiming. If you do it on any of the others, it won't work, because when you aim, you're pressing another button, which then will cancel out anything else when you press L1, R1. So you think you're going to be doing something else with it. It won't. It will just do this. Aim. Click left. Click right. Let go. You also don't even have to keep hold of it. If you were just to tap your L2 trigger in, and then just tap your L1 button, you'll do that. My fingers are now not touching any of the triggers, just the sticks. And if I just want to tap the R1 button, I'm not even touching it no more. You don't have to keep hold of it, you just tap it. If you want to zoom in, just keep hold of your left trigger and you're zoomed in. Bye bye, dirty politician. Probably not the climate to say that in, but it is a game after all. Like, and just in the game, he's a dirty politician. I don't mean anybody alive and living, allegedly. God, you got to put these clauses in these days, for fuck's sake. Stars at your door, innit? Right, let's finish these bloody controls. On character, scrolling down. Aiming done, sorted. There we go. I added that in there. Point with finger continuously. Keep both sticks pressed in. I just put that in for fun. Don't know what it does. It just does that. Yeah. Get your finger out. Get your finger out for the lads. Done. Now the last few settings now be the weapon. Helicopter. Vehicle. Let's do vehicle. All I did was change the start engine and the stop engine to be the same, so you keep all of it to start, or you can hold your accelerator or brake, that'll do the same thing. And to stop the engine, just tap it and you'll coast on the road with no engine on. As you can see, everything else is the same. I only changed the stop engine. Alright, down to the helicopter. Here we go. I've already done a video on this. Accelerate, collective up, R2. Decelerate, collective down, L2. That's brake and accelerator, done. Antrogue left, which is L1, which is spin your helicopter left. Antrogue right, which is R1, which is spin your helicopter right. Forward, backwards, left and right is now on the left stick. We'll come down to here. Stop engine, tap the triangle. Start engine, keep hold of it. Also hover, I call it the oh shit button, in case you're going to crash or you can't level it properly. Just press that button there. It makes everything move a lot slower and a lot less tippy, but you're like a slug, so watch out. Yeah, that definitely should be called the oh shit button. Right. That's your helicopter done. I'll also show you that working in a second. I'll run over there to that helicopter and we'll fly somewhere. Right, here we go here. Switch weapon, triangle. Cycle fire modes, down. Just one tap down. Select grenade launcher, keep hold, and you'll select your grenade launcher. Reload, keep hold of triangle. Repin grenade is the same as what it was. Toggle weapon safety, turn that off. Your safety is your right finger. If you press it and someone's in front of you, that's just hard shit, isn't it? It's your own fault for keeping your gun up in the air. Lower weapon, double tap to square. Raise weapon, well that's your aim button. Rest weapon, which is leaning on the car. I think I showed you that earlier. You just keep hold of X when you're near something that's low, like a table or car, sandbag, your friend's head if he's kneeling down, and yeah, you can rest it on his head or on a table. Toggle bipod, which is the same as toggle grenade launcher. Obviously you're not going to have both on at the same time, so I made them both the same button. That's keep hold of, by the way. If you don't see a ×2 and you see a white outline around it, it means keep hold. Around any of these buttons, see? That means keep hold. That means keep hold. That means press. That means double tap it. Okay, aim down sights. Sight up and range down is keep hold of X up and down, so that adjusts your velocity of your bullet up and down in the air. You know, if you're aiming at somebody and you're shooting them and you're not killing them, it probably means you're shooting over the head, so you need to press X and bring your zero in down on your gun, and then maybe you shoot them in the head. Dirty politician. Zoom in and out, up and down on your D-pad while aiming. Toggle illumination of whatever device, I don't know, I've never seen anything illuminate, but apparently things illuminate on the scopes. Done deal. Switch weapon optics to tap X while you're aiming. It won't be your jump button. Yeah, this isn't Call of Duty. So let me just go up and down these again, because there's been quite a few changes on this. I'll start at the bottom and just go up. Then I'll go down. Right, next. Turret. I think for ease of things, I did the reload for triangle. Just makes it easier because that muscle memory thing of you pressing your buttons, and triangle being the same for all guns for reloading. Done deal. Off we go to the next thing. By the way, I'll just go back up and down now just to make sure you can see that. And anyone kicking off in the comments saying you didn't stay there long enough. Look, not many. Everything's the same apart from that button. Camera, I haven't touched it. Don't know. Do what you need to. Nothing to do with me. Next. Game Master, still nothing to do with me. Do whatever you want. I'm in Game Master now. All the buttons seem to work without doing anything naughty. If you want to add buttons in, you can. Be my guest. Anything you set here will only affect you when you're in Game Master world. If you're not in a Game Master world, even if you make these buttons the same as firing, you can cast lightning, you can use your R2 button for that, your fire button. Here you probably fire your gun and you'd cast lightning at the same time, but in the official servers and the community servers that don't have Game Master on, Game Master is your own world or somebody else's world where you can do other things other than run around and Call of Duty it. You can put cars out anywhere, people, tents and stuff. These things here. I put these out for Game Master, in the Game Master world, in your own world. Right, as soon as we've done all the controls, let's show you this helicopter working. Dirty politician. Right, let's keep hold of triangle. Okay. You can see I'm looking around, using the right stick. R2 to take off. Push forward on your left stick. We're flying. If you're going to crash, an oh shit button, click in the left stick. And it'll go into auto hover like this. That's your oh shit button. Take off the oh shit button. Fly. Lean forward for momentum. Keep hold of that right trigger. The right trigger is your accelerator. Keep hold of that. If you lean forward too much, you'll go down. Get speed, level out. Maybe get a bit of height by pulling back. And then lean forward. Get more speed. Your L1 and R1 buttons don't work as well when you're going really fast in a helicopter. So just do a little bit like this. That's your L1, that's your R1. When you're moving slow, pull back to slow down. When you're moving slowly, there's your R1 button. There's your L1 button. There's me looking around at the same time. Just lean forward a bit. While leaning forward, keep hold of the accelerator. Level out. Tilt your helicopter left and right with your left stick. Pull back with your left stick. Push forward with your left stick. Whee! This looks like Ireland, doesn't it? Potato! I'd have a potato field down there. Irish are good at growing potatoes. Got plenty of practice. Get them potatoes out. Make some chips or jacket spuds. Let's do a landing. If you're no good at landing, press the auto hover button and it'll make it stable and then you can land. There you go. Tap triangle and the engine will turn off. Double tap your circle button, get out. Most excellent. Right, you can see I'm pointing my gun, can't you? Double tap your square. And that's how you ready your gun down, so you don't shoot somebody in the back immediately. Right, so I'll just once again go over the controls. Like I said, camera and Game Master don't matter. I haven't changed anything in the camera or Game Master. But I just thought I'd show the full controls anyway, in case people want to see full controls. If you just want to play the game, you don't need to worry about Game Master or camera. Right, well that's the end of the tutorial. You don't have to subscribe, you don't have to like, I don't care less, I don't make any money off this at all. If you get adverts, it's not my fault. That's my disclaimer done. Yeah, and if you get offended, that's your right to be offended, not mine. Yeah. Done deal. Yep, goodbye. Cheers.